did come in the pits, which is not a bad move.
But I believe this is a good thing for Jimmy Spencer because his car is good on the short run. And now probably not going to catch a lot of lap traffic with only about 20 laps to go when they take the green. So I think this is a good thing for Jimmy Spencer.
Well, let's see if it's a good thing for the second place car of Tony Raines. Dick?
Michael Kadlisic is his crew chief. What do you think? You got anything for Spencer?
We're both pretty equal right now, so it comes down to driver talent. Spare Alka-Seltz car running pretty good. Tony's pretty good. Spencer's pretty good. I think this is what the fans pay for.
They did indeed. It ought to be a great shootout at the end, Mike.
Going to be about 20 laps or so as they finish cleanup and get the emergency vehicles off the racetrack. Probably just another couple of laps of caution. So we will have a good old-fashioned Saturday night shootout, Darrell, when we're going to have one tomorrow night.
Oh, yes.
Right here on FX.
And you can see all that. Mike, let me interrupt you real quick while we got that shot. See all that stuff up there on the outside of the track? That's what gets on your tires when you get up high, and it takes several laps to get that off.
It'll make you feel like you got a flat tire when you get up there.
Look how it's all piled up right down here. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mike, but that's
all right.
Great opportunity to explain that.
See a lot more of that tomorrow night when the NASCAR Winston Cup cars perform to a sold-out crowd here under the lights. Get your motor running with NASCAR this morning, tomorrow on Fox Sports Net, and then the Pontiac Excitement 400 right here on FX, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night.
Look at the double dipping, and this has got to pay off. Again, these guys, they're racing in the same track temperature conditions. And look at 4 out of the top 5, 5 out of the top 8. Not only running the Busch race tonight, but we'll be in that Winston Cup event tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think when NASCAR went to this engine package for the Busch cars, that made this racing, Saturday racing, or in this case Friday racing, even more vital for these guys because the cars are really a lot alike now.
We're on 1 to go now. We'll be a double file restart. Remember, only lead lap cars to the outside. Once you get inside 25 laps, you have to get inside 10 laps to be a single file restart. And the most exciting thing, we got Jimmy Spencer at the front.
We'll have a 19-lap shootout. And if it stays green, we'll be commercial free to the checkered flag. Spencer, Raines, Skinner, Kenseth, Harvick are the front 5. That's Speedowa trying to get a lap back on the inside. Here we go. Green flag.
Critical restart for Tony Raines particularly. He does not need to be held up by that 6th second. And he seems like he's going to get the run off turn 2 there, and that's a good thing for him. It keeps him in contact with Jimmy Spencer. But don't count on Mike Skinner out either there. He's hanging real tough in 3rd place.
He drove it down into turn 3 that time.
And talk about hungry. None of those first 3 have won in the Busch Series this year.
Well, that one car over the last several weeks has had a lot of opportunities, 3 or 4 I know, and tonight's another one of them. Jimmy has just done an amazing job with that team and that car since he got in.
He's been the car to beat all evening here at Richmond.
Like you said, Darrell, he probably will not. He will not have to continue any lap traffic with only 17 laps to go. He just needs to be smooth, load that thing down in there, run that thing around the bottom, and drive that thing straight up off the corner.
Yeah, and I think Raines could even get up there and maybe get after Jimmy a little bit, but I don't think you're going to get Jimmy out of your way unless you knock him out of your way.
Don't forget to stay tuned for Tough Man immediately following tonight's race here on FX.
And we got one leading the race right now.
He would be tough. Jimmy Spencer would have those guys for appetizer. Let's go behind the pit wall, and Matt.
Mike, Todd Bodine has walked out of the infield care center. Todd, you're okay. What happened?
It's pretty obvious. Man dumped me. He was blocked by the lap car. He knew it. I guess he felt he really had to get around me, so he went ahead and dumped me. It's a shame. We had a Georgia Pacific car was pretty good. We messed up qualifying. We started in the back, and we got it really good in happy hour, and we knew we had a good car. Came to the front, and right there, I just kind of riding a little bit, trying to bide it some time, and Matt was pushing the issue, and he got under me off the floor. There was no need to do what he did. He was either going to get by me eventually, or I was going to hold him off, but to dump somebody like that, that's a little ridiculous.
You gave him some hand signals?
Well, what are you doing? What the heck? That was a stupid rookie mistake that Matt Kenseth should not make.
Todd Bodine frustrated with his 4th DNF of 2001. Mike?
4 DNFs to go with 2 wins and 2 more top 5s.
Let me tell you what I do with that car if it's mine. I'd take that, I'd paint it black, put that 00 back on it like it was at the beginning of the year.
When it won 2 races.
It won 2 races real handily.
This tight battle continues with Kevin Grubb trying to get past Jeff Purvis and Jason Keller there.
Now he's got fresh tires. He was one of the cars that pitted under that caution a while ago, and I don't think that was a great move because he's at the back of the lead lap cars going to get those fresh tires, trying to take advantage of them, and he's already moved up from 21st to 17th.
Yeah, that's a big plus when you put tires on like that. You got to set the use.
20 cars on the lead lap, all trying to chase Jimmy Spencer. There's Hank Jr. battling Jimmy Johnson. And those are lead lap cars for 11th and 12th place.
And they are battling. They've been rubbing on each other pretty good. Hank's a little better right there through the center of the corner.
10 laps to go this time by. Mr. Excitement leading the pack.
And pulling away, I might add.
If they don't have another caution, Jimmy's going to make this Mr. Boring.
Well, he certainly dominated this race tonight. He's led a lot of it. And, boy, those two guys just... Hank finally got by him and slipped up and let him get back under him.
Yeah, all the excitement's right back here.
Here we go. Let me do that again.
He's not going to give up.
No.
Now, the 61 is a lap down to right behind them. Rich Bickle and David Green are going to be part of this if they keep trading it back and forth.
High and low.
Yep. It's fun to watch.
Well, Hank Jr. is really, you know, he's had a pretty doggone good night considering how this team has struggled earlier in the year. Win that race last week, and he's running in 11th place right now. That's, that's what winning a race will do for you.
Darrell, that was their first top 10 finish of the year. Never mind just their first win. It was their first top 10.
Well, we know that's a good team. Those are good people over there. And you know the crew chief real well. And he's a pretty sharp guy. So, and I believe Hank is going to make a great driver.
Ahead of him, Jay Sauter in the 43, a backup car after they destroyed their primary car. In yesterday's practice, he's the 10th place car. 31, Steve Park, running an occasional Busch race for Ed Marsh and the folks at Wayland. In 9th place, 48, Kenny Wallace. We expected to be a contender for the win, but got shuffled early, and he's now sitting in 8th, 5 seconds behind the leader.
How about Scott Wimmer, the 23 car? He's in 7th right now. You got to give a call. Bob Barker made that call. 2 tires. His left side tires here about 6 laps to the end of the race is going to have 170 laps on them.
Wow.
Plus, you got to give a call to the tire Goodyear brought here that would enable these guys to do this.
I like this tire.
Jeff Green
racing on it.
Has been battling amongst the top 5, but he's currently 6th.
On the bottom, the 49.
The 2 of Kevin Harvick is 5th. One of the better battles on the racetrack as he goes after Matt Kenseth in the 17 and Mike Skinner in the 21. That is 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, Kenseth has got a fast car, but he's just going to run out of laps.
They're catching Tony Raines. There's the 2nd place car, 33.
And you know, Larry, I believe on those pit stops that the 10 car pulled some tape off of those brake openings because it doesn't have that glow in those brakes that he once had.
I got to believe they finally figured out they needed to.
He's not running as good either.
And we're assuming he still has brake pads in that thing in the front. And they're not worn out.
Hot enough to weld.
3 laps to go next time.
He's pulled out to over a 2nd lead. And you got to give a call to his pit crew tonight. Every time he came into pits, he went out leading the race, except when someone else did some different strategies. And those guys definitely redeemed themselves tonight from some mistakes made earlier this season on pit road.
You're right. Mark Reno, Johnny Allen, that whole group for James Finch. There aren't many people that have more fun in racing than Finch as a car owner.
And he's had a lot of success. He's had a lot of failure too, but he's had a lot of success. Fast Eddie Mercer's driven his car in the All-American 400 a couple of times. And Nashville has been real good.
White flag, last lap for Jimmy Spencer, trying to post his first Busch Series win since 1998. He's led the most laps tonight. Back in 96 in September, Kenny Wallace led all but 4 laps of this race to win it.
And Jeff Purvis.
I'll clear.
They were real good friends on the All-American 400.
Jimmy Spencer to the checkered flag. First win of the season for Spencer.
Yeah, we just wore them out, that's all.
Tony Raines finishes 2nd, 1.4 seconds back. Mike Mike Skinner holds off Matt Kenseth and Kevin Harvick, your top 5. Jeff Green, Scott Wimmer, that 2-tire stop paid off. He finishes 7th.
There's a winner's circle. Hang left just past our pits and we'll hang back in there.
Right down there, Jimmy. Go right down there.
I wonder if Jimmy will do donuts, or he'll try to do a bagel, or he'll just go to victory.
Ain't no telling.
Well, he's out of the racetrack because winner's circle used to be in the grass between pit road and the racetrack on the front stretch. So he'll take a ride around and get us there. Show you the order of finish here. There's your top 10.
Big thing about Kevin Harvick finishing in 5th and trouble Greg Biffle had. Big swing in the points.
Yes. Harvick and Jeff Green right up there 5th and 6th. 20 lead lap cars. There they are.